Hello family, my name's Phineavlog and welcome to another Phineavlog. So tonight's going to be something a little bit extra special, something I haven't quite done yet on this channel. It's going to be something I think you guys might all enjoy. Today Nintendo announced their new Nintendo Switch console. Console, however you want to pronounce it. I pronounce it console sometimes, I mean console, so bear with me on that. But their new console today was announced, the Nintendo Switch. And I went through the trailer quite a few times. I guess trailer, sneak preview, whatever you want to call it, quite a few times, and came up with a few things that I'd like to discuss, kind of my thoughts, predictions, and overview of the Nintendo Switch. So here we go. So first thing I noticed when it was first released was the fact that you can take the little, I guess, screen out of it would be the best way of describing it. For those of you who've seen it, you've got the controller that comes out that looks like the Wii U controller, except it looks like a little bit more of a high definition and slimmer version of it. Very first thing I noticed off that was obviously the fact that the disc goes in there and not into the console itself. And the handy thing about that is kind of the whole gimmick about the whole Nintendo Switch is that you can take it with you wherever you go. So that's the biggest thing that I noticed, and I can see that being a positive and a negative. Positive being the fact that that means you can take it wherever you want to go, and it's essentially becoming an iPad with controller, with a built-in controller, so to speak. The negative fact being that you can take it wherever you can go. It's essentially a laptop, so you can experience skips and stuff like that with the disc, or I don't know if they're using a cartridge now, kind of going back to the NES days. I don't really know how that's going to work. And kind of taking a pause for a moment, for those of you who want to comment on each of these, I will break it down into sections, this first one being about the handheld part of it. So if you guys want to discuss on the handheld side of things, put a number 1 next to your comment and then talk about it in the comment section down below. So this is section 1 being the handheld version of it. I find it interesting how this is essentially the Wii U, just the handheld part of it. I find it great, a positive about it, being that the screen seems to have pretty good graphics for being a handheld console, and it has very sleek, slim controls. You don't have to worry about it too much, and you don't have to worry about it being bulky or anything. It seems relatively slim. You can fit it in enough spots. And the one thing I do have a concern about with it, being CD in there and stuff like that, or cartridge in that case, is going to be battery life. But I'll come to that in a little bit later time, because that's going to be a whole separate section. Next up is the controllers. Section 2, the controllers. I noticed there's many different ways that you can have controllers. They have like a classic controller, which kind of looks like your Xbox controller, except with the Nintendo styling type thing. It's like I guess a glorified GameCube controller, for a lack of a better term. It looks like a GameCube controller. That's kind of been slightly updated. And to me, I like that one. There's that one. There's the ones that come off the sides of the screen. Yes, it does look like a Wii U console, but the sides come off. So it's like the Oculus Rift controllers almost, for when you're portable. You've got the screen that sets up on its own, and then it's portable controls. I like that one probably my favorite, because then you've got a stable environment like a laptop, and then you can game with the controllers. I like that one a lot. There's the one where the controllers slide into a base while you're on the actual console, like connected to the TV. I am so sorry, my eczema is flaring up right now. Anyway. Trying to ignore it, trying to resist the itch. Anyway. So you've got that with the controls. You've got, trying to trying to remember the trailer as I'm going through here because again I'm still on my phone. I find out later today when if and slash when I'm getting the computer back. So cross your fingers, everybody. We've got the classic controller, like that. We've got the portable controllers. We've got the main controller. We've got the Wii U styling of the controls. And it looks like there's even one that looks like a Wiimote, like a smaller version of the Wiimote. I don't know if it's the one, like just an individual controller on the side or what. How they're going to do that, like you use one of them if you're doing multiplayer, or you use two if you're doing single player. I'm not sure. What it looks like is that's the case, where if you're doing a single player match, you can have more controls using both of them, and if it's multiplayer, you can have two controls off each one. So that seems pretty cool. This is purely speculation at this point. So it looks like there's like 5 different types of controllers. Now, it looks like it comes with 3. So it leaves 2 that you can get on your own. The 3 being, well, technically 4 of them. One that would be sold separately. So it would come with the multiplayer controls and the single player controls, since that's the ones that come with the screen. And then attaching to the screen would be another one, and then attaching to the main console would be another. The one that I could see being sold separately is the GameCube style controller. I could see them kind of marketing it as a separate controller, kind of doing a money grab type thing, or it could be bundled together. But my thought is they would likely sell it separately, similar to how they sold controllers separately for the Wii and the Wii U. That would be interesting to see if they did bundle it together. So who knows? Who knows? We'll have to see. Next up will be section 3, and that would be the graphics. Graphics look absolutely amazing on the Wii Switch. Well, Wii Switch. Wow. Hashtag Wii Switch, please. But on the Nintendo Switch, I'd be interested to see what games go on, because it looks like in the trailer that they have obviously the Zelda and they have the Mario games and the stylings there, but they also had, it looked like a Skyrim game. I'm like, okay. Skyrim would be huge. They also had, an NBA game on there as well. I mean, if Nintendo's starting to get into these serious games, and they have this portability and this developability, it would be a huge step forward for Nintendo. It seems like Nintendo always takes like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. In my opinion, they took that 1 step back with the Wii U. They took a huge step forward with the Wii and the 3DS, and then they took a step back with the Wii U. And now it looks like they're combining everything into this Nintendo Switch, and it's a huge step forward. I could see the future of gaming coming from this. And especially with the graphics being as they are, it looks like they're trying to compete with Xbox One and PlayStation 4. So it'd be interesting to see if maybe in the future they attach a VR like they are with PlayStation. If they attach a VR, I can see Nintendo taking pretty well control of the gaming community if they do it properly. So that's number 3 is graphics. Number 4 would have to be battery life. Big issue I can see coming from this. I mean, think about it. You've got controllers that you have issue with. You've got the screen that separates from itself. Then you got the fact that it might attach to the TV. Everything all together. It's a lot of power that goes into it. A lot of power. Yes, I'm taking off my glasses because they're starting to annoy me and I can't focus really well. But I could see the battery life being a big issue. Screen itself, if you were, just do an experiment for me if you feel so inclined to do so. Unplug your phone from the wall and turn whatever to always on, and just fiddle around with it for a while, and don't let it don't let the screen do whatever you want it to, and just let the battery life do whatever you want it to, and just let it drain. See how long it takes for your battery to completely run out by using it constantly. I did it with my phone not too long ago, and essentially it went to poop. My battery life, it just went down the toilet. It ended up being, I gotta think here. I think it was about 3.5 hours before the whole thing died, and that's just a phone that was doing nothing. It took 3.5 hours just for screen life alone. Now imagine all the input and output that it has to do with the controllers and everything like that. You could see everything draining pretty quickly. Unless they have a pretty good battery life's going to be an issue. I could see the console itself being just like a main charger and having all the processing power being in that screen. Otherwise, it wouldn't be working the way that it shows in the trailer. I could see the controllers taking a lot of battery power from the side, especially when it's plugged in to the side of the screen. I could see a lot of battery being drained from that. If we can get 2 hours out of this, that's still impressive. I'll still buy it. Anything less, a little bit of an issue. That brings us to number 5, price point. Price point will be interesting because Nintendo usually tries to keep their consoles pretty low on the price scale, make it affordable for everybody, for the masses. The Wii, when it first came out, was about $249.99 if I remember correctly, here in the U.S., which is a reasonable price for the motion sensing and everything at that time. And it was a competitive price and everything like that. Then you go to the Xbox and the PlayStation, the current ones. You're getting it new. When it first came out, it was like, what, $400 for the Xbox, $500, $600 for the PlayStation? Something along those lines. I could see Nintendo selling this for about $299 to maybe $330, somewhere in there, if it goes according to their plan. That would still put it in the affordable range in a competitive pricing. I could see it being that. Probably about $300 would be my personal guess for how, what pricing this console will be. So my conclusion, number 6, my conclusion is the Nintendo Switch will be a pretty powerful console, and it'll be a big step forward in the gaming community if it's executed properly. Now, Nintendo does have about another 5 months before this comes out, so they do have time to fine-tune a few things before they send it off to be distributed to the masses. So let me know what you think down in the comments section below on each of those sections. I'd be happy to hear what you have to say. Also, if you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe. Go onto my Facebook page because I typically post there before I do anything on my channel, except for recently because the computer's been out. I am going to be hearing back tomorrow. For those who haven't heard, I will be hearing back tomorrow about whether or not the computer will be on point, and if it is, I'll be streaming tomorrow. If not, I'll keep posting these vlogs, keep these things coming, keep you with content until the computer comes back, hopefully within the next week. I know for sure we'll hear tomorrow, and likely is we will get it back tomorrow, but fingers crossed. Again, thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'm Phineavlog, and I'm signing off. Take care, everybody.